Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're Allison and Eric from The Endless Adventure, and we're coming at you once again with DW Travel.
Y'all know that we have been on a road trip traveling all around the USA trying to see as much of this country as we possibly can, and our road trip is continuing today, and we are taking you guys along to one of the literal wonders of the world. It's the Grand Canyon.
Whoa.
Winter at the Grand Canyon is sometimes called the secret season, and that's because the skies are clearer, the temperatures are cooler, and most importantly, there are far less people.
The canyon sees around 6 million visitors a year, but the number drops to the lowest between December to February, which means it feels like you have the canyon all to yourself. We can't wait to show you how beautiful the Grand Canyon is, but first, we have to get there, and we could just drive, but that's boring. So we're doing it the same way they did it in 1901, via the Grand Canyon Railway.
This morning, we woke up to a full-on blizzard, y'all. The wind is just blowing harder than I've ever seen it. It's just whipping all this snow all over the place. It's so bad that all the roads into the Grand Canyon seem to be closed. So the railway really is the only way to get there, and it is open rain or shine, or snow or shine in this case. We actually heard it's only closed twice in its operating history. So this thing goes no matter what. So that means we get to go to the canyon and no one else can. This train has several different types of cars. So at the front, you're gonna find the coach cars. Then in the middle, they have the higher end cars, and one of them even has a bubble dome where you can get like 360 views of the surrounding land. And then back here you're gonna find the luxury parlor car. And the reason we chose this one is because they have a full private bar. But probably most importantly, they have a little observation balcony that you can step outside on and see all the surrounding nature. Sadly right now we're literally driving through a blizzard, so you can't see that much, but it's cool in its own way.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Mad Men or something. This train has like real couches.
Fancy train car, fancy cocktails.
Yep.
All right, we're doing Grand Canyon in style.
I feel like I just need a ball gown now to match it all.
I know a guy's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused. He's got muscles in his head, never been used. Thanks a young chap of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose.
We had an incredible time riding on the Grand Canyon Railway, but we have arrived to the main event, the Grand Canyon. And I think we're seeing it in a way that very few people get to see it. It is so incredible the way that the fog is hanging over it. There's like clouds in the air. There's mist revealing a few peaks off in the distance. It's like a monster movie. I feel like some tentacles or some giant legs are gonna come crawling out of the mist, you know? I know that there's snow piled everywhere. We were in a blizzard this morning. It's the dead of winter, but man, it is totally worth it to see the Grand Canyon in a way that very few people get to see it.
You'll notice there's a lot of snow up here at the top of the canyon, but if you look down into it, there's no snow whatsoever, and that's because we are at such high elevation that any precipitation getting down there would just turn into rain. So you get this amazing snowscape up at the top, and then this beautiful lush landscape down at the bottom. Even though it's 15 up here, it's probably a nice balmy day at the bottom. Oh my word, y'all, confirmed. The views here never get old.
Yeah, it's like everywhere you go, you just turn to this side and you're like, holy cow, there's a giant canyon. She just kind of fell in some deep snow and her boot is full of snow now.
It's fine, it's fine. At least we aren't in a blizzard anymore.
Some of these little cliffside points are kind of terrifying though, because it's covered in snow right now because it's the dead of winter and you never know if this is just gonna avalanche right off or not. But now we are gonna shift gears and we are going to do what most people come to the canyon to do.
Take an epic hike. So people are not the only thing you'll see on this trail. If you're lucky, you'll actually see mules traversing the canyon. If you do happen to come across the mules on the trail, make sure you stay to the high side of the trail, stay perfectly still and give them plenty of space, because I think they can spook easily and we don't want any injuries on the trail. But a very safe way to see them is to come to their pen, which is at the start of the trail, and you can give them all the ear rubs you want.
You got a new best friend.
I know, I don't ever want to leave. I think though, he's trying to get into my backpack. It smells our sandwiches.
This is the South Kaibab Trail. There are a few people on it, but I imagine this gets so much more packed in the summer. But man, this trail is nuts because right now it is complete snowpack on most of the trail.
Yeah, instead of being packed with people, it's packed with snow.
Yeah. There are some parts that are nice and muddy and gravelly though. And so far we've been able to keep a good bit of traction, but this trail winds down through all these switchbacks through this canyon. Can we keep traction through that? That's the question.
We'll see. Definitely if you come in the winter, have poles or the crampons for your boots. Otherwise, you might be able to just sit and slide down the whole thing.
You might not survive it, but yeah.
It'd be a wild ride. All right, we made it as far as we can with this foot gear, but now we're gonna strap on our crampons. They recommended these before we started the trail, but we didn't know how icy it was gonna be. But it's just sheer ice out here, y'all, and we are done sliding down this mountain.
This is why you always want to be prepared when you're doing a hike in the Grand Canyon. You don't want to be this guy. He's sunburned and he's puking his guts up. This sign is actually about not trying to make the hike all the way down to the Colorado River and back in one day, because I think it's easy to underestimate just how strenuous of a hike that is, especially the way back up. Luckily, it is not crazy high temperatures because it's the dead of winter. That's one of the positives of being in wintertime. Guys, we made it to the lookout. This is called Ooh-Ah Point, and it is approximately 0.9 miles from the start of the trailhead, so it's a really good day hike. You can make your way down here, then make the arduous journey back up. And you'll notice we have it all to ourselves. That is the beauty of coming to the Grand Canyon in the winter. Let's go check out this viewpoint. Wow, you guys, this was 100% worth the hike. Probably top view we've ever seen in our entire lives. The video doesn't do it justice just how deep this canyon is. I mean, I'm sitting right on the edge and it just feels like I could fall forever. Oh, you lose all sense of scale. You can't tell how far away anything is.
It's wild. I feel like ooh-ah is actually ooh-ah, because this is scary and amazing and wow.
So, as I'm sure all of you already know, the Grand Canyon is a national park, and it was given that designation by Congress back in 1919. But the thing we love most about the Grand Canyon is that when you stand at the rim looking into it, you lose all perspective. It's so deep and so vast that you can't actually process just how big it is. But to attempt to put it into perspective, the canyon is about 277 miles long and over a mile deep. This thing is big, y'all.
So what caused this Grand Canyon? Well, the Colorado River actually runs through it, and they believe that it wore down the canyon walls over time. How long did that take? Well, anywhere between 5 and 70 million years. But one thing's for sure, it took a very, very long time to carve out this incredible canyon.
To illustrate how the canyon was built, we have a nice little mini canyon being formed right here. Imagine this happening for millions and millions, possibly a billion years. That'll turn into another little Grand Canyon, or big Grand Canyon. It's grand. You get it. It really is all about perspective. To an ant sitting right on the edge of this is already a Grand Canyon. Yo, we're just walking along the trail here and we ran into a herd of elk. It was amazing.
They're so much bigger than the deer we're used to seeing all over the country, and they make some of the funniest little yelping noises.
They are so comfortable with people. They did kind of look us in the eye a couple times, but they just went about their business. They really don't care.
They walk right in front of you on the trail. They walk right by you and stop at a tree like a few feet from you, so you get a pretty close view of them. Hope you all enjoyed coming and exploring the Grand Canyon with us. Even though we only explored the tiniest bit, you could stay here for years and still never see the same sights, I feel like. But most importantly, we hope that we have inspired you all to come and see the Grand Canyon for yourselves. We promise it will not let you down.
Man, that wind really picked up just now.
It's wild, oh my gosh.
And we're conveniently sitting right on the edge of the rock.
I'm are just gonna hug this rock until it stops. Whoa. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.